Yo, Chur fam, how are we all?
How's it going, guys?
I just wanted to welcome you back to Tides Talk, the changing tides in all of our lives, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since we've got to grace yourself with our presence, since we've been behind the camera, and we're so glad to be finally getting this out to you guys again.
Yeah, back on the mic, as they say.
Yeah, we've had a lot of little tiny baby technical issues. You name it, we've experienced it. Big learning curve for both me and my bro host.
Absolutely massive, eh?
But it's been good. To be honest, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still hanging in there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't left me yet.
Yeah. Same. And I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, I know.
No.
How's George Janko complaining about not being on the getting paid?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us get paid. But we haven't been doing this for 15 months. I think it took him like 15 months before he got paid. So let's see if we can beat his record. Let's see if we can start earning some money before 15 months. If you guys want to donate to our Patreon, I'll leave the link in the description below. Nah, we don't even have one yet. But we'll get there.
Donations are welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, you guys can donate if you want to. But if you go to our Instagram and you click the thing, there's actually a link in our bio and they can click on it and donate.
Oh, well, there you go.
Hey, so it's not Patreon. You don't really get anything special out of it, but you do support the channel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, for this special episode, we are going to introduce ourselves. So we're going to tell you guys a little bit about ourselves, our life, our faith, our beliefs, all that stuff, I guess you could say, our culture. And then we'll just like touch on it briefly, and then we'll dive into some questions. And we'll get to talk about ourselves on a little bit deeper level. You can dive into it a bit deeper and find some things out. And then maybe at the end of the episode or like later, you guys can like even send things in for our guests.
That'd be cool, like a Q&A.
Yeah, we could do a Q&A with us, with our guests. Who knows? We actually have been working very hard behind the scenes, and we already recorded a whole episode and edited it, but we got that one banked, so you might.
That's how good we are.
You might get to experience it a bit later. So we have been working. Don't stress. But thanks for being patient with us. And all right, so I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I was born in Tweed Heads on the Gold Coast. GC, Tweed Breed, repping hard. Hold up, TB.
What? Tuberculosis? What?
Hey, Tweed Breed, you don't understand unless you're from here.
Throttle body? TB?
Tweed Breed. Yeah, I'm sure the Tweed Breeds will appreciate that one. I have 3 siblings. So I'm the youngest. My oldest sister is like 14 years older than me, or 13 years older than me, and then 5 years and 3 years. And then I am the little baby. Little baby. So I'm still trying to prove myself, or my family think I'm a joke. It's okay. Nah. But I do like to have a little bit of fun here and there. I was raised in a pretty cool household.
This household, stable family, super blessed. I went to pretty much one school my whole life. Pretty crazy, yeah. People are like, oh, I change schools all the time. I just went to one. Some people would say that's boring. I don't know, I liked it. And then I grew up in youth, I guess. I grew up in church, which was pretty cool. I was a youth leader and everything. I loved it. I've experienced the big God for myself. And then I went out into the world for a little bit when I was about 18 and just enjoyed myself, or maybe a bit older than 18. Partied, lived a good life. And then I ended up moving to New Zealand in 2019, and I worked over there as a sales manager for 2 Degrees and mobile lab, and I was a sales manager for Coca-Cola. So that was pretty cool. And then throughout that, my father unfortunately passed away, which we can touch on later in the questions. So stay tuned. Cool. And then I moved back to Australia just recently, actually, in about September last year or around then. And just been chilling back here. I have started up a new podcast, believe it or not. I don't know. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Tides Talk. Yeah.
Man.
So if you're watching this, you're watching it. Yeah, and I just felt God drop, like, I don't know, I felt like God dropped it on my heart. Who knows? Yeah. And
God knows.
Yeah, God knows. And yeah, that's a little bit about myself. And now I'll hand it over to my bro host.
Oh, thank you. Pass the baton.
Yeah.
Kia ora whānau. Ko Chandu Grant, tōku ingoa. He uria hau no Te Aroa me te whakatohia. My name is Chandu Grant. I hail from Te Aroa and Whakatohia. So that's my tribes. Those are my main tribes anyway. I am one of 8 children. Number 4, right smack bang in the middle. So I grew up in a place called Ōkere Falls, which is in Rotorua, New Zealand. Yeah, I had a pretty cool upbringing, I'd like to think. So having lots of siblings around home all the time, there was always someone to play with and ride bikes, and yeah, so that was pretty cool. We grew up in the church, going to church every Sunday, which was a good foundation, and met lots of cool families through church and cool experiences as well. I went to Ōwhata Primary, Mokoia Intermediate, and Rotorua Lakes High, which is pretty much the same as you going to the same school, because they're like within...
They're all in the same block.
It's like they're within 100 metres of each other. 2 of them are right next door to each other, so I pretty much went to the same school. Like, I had mates that went through all the schools with me, so, and still friends with them today, so that's, yeah, pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
East side.
Oh, yes. East side. It was on the east side, so yeah. No, I'm not going to talk about my gang affiliations just yet. Yeah, so growing up, Dad was into cars, as the rest of the Grant family is. So
I can attest to that one.
Naturally, I gravitated towards loud engines, V8s, and yada yada yada, and music as well. It's probably one of the other. I was actually thinking about that today. That's pretty much Dad's hobbies just became my hobbies. And then,
like father, like son.
Yeah, and most of the boys, or all of the boys, are the same in our family, so we're all pretty close because we just have the exact same hobbies. But yeah, we all like music and listening to music, so, and it's something that waking up on a Saturday morning, the music would just be cranking from the lounge, and I wake up, Dad's got his records cranking. And it just.
Oh, did he have an old school vinyl record?
Yeah.
Oh, gangster, so did my old man.
And he just cranking them. So that's just a natural progression for all of us. So left high school, didn't know what I wanted to do. Found a pre-trade carpentry course, jumped into that because didn't know what else to do. Liked it, and then went straight into building. Came to 2015, and then boom, had twin girls. Surprise! Whoa!
God damn it!
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's like a double whammy.
Yeah, it was a double whammy. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been so cool.
How old are your kids?
They are 9 years old now, so man, they're knocking on the door of puberty and that sort of thing. Like it's pretty close.
Interesting time.
Buckle up. So yeah, but. Yeah, the crazy thing that I found about parenthood is I just thought that they were going to be exactly like me. They sort of, you hear people saying, oh, they're just a mini me, or, a mini you. But they're not really like me. In some ways,
I feel
definitely.
Like kids pick up certain traits.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like as they get older, more of the traits come out.
Yeah, true.
Like, like you
it
guys
might be TBC.
Like, as you're getting a bit older, you're like looking more like your dad,
acting
more like
mannerisms
your dad,
and that
your
sort
mannerisms.
of.
Yeah, you think, yeah. Like, oh,
yeah.
Man.
And then fast forward to 2023, the start of 2023, I moved to Australia, and decided needed a bit of change. A few different factors in why we moved over here, and then moved in to this house believe it or not.
To the Beckett Whare.
And to the Beckett Hotel.
Yeah.
And
it pretty much is a hotel. It's like 7-bedroom or something. 6 bedrooms.
6.
Yeah. But
six bedrooms.
Six socks. I feel like Kiwis say socks bedrooms.
Oh.
Except the rooms are big enough to be like 2 bedrooms in one. Some bedrooms probably 4 bedrooms in one. Not talking
plus
about
multiple lounges that you could just turn into a whole house. Yeah. So I am a Mozzie at the moment, a Māori Aussie, and just being a carpenter over here and getting used to the culture and a new country. Yeah, just
pretty much the same thing as when I went to New Zealand.
Yeah, like the reverse.
Yeah.
You were born here, and you moved to New Zealand. I was born in New Zealand, and I moved here.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So I spent 5 years. Yeah, nearly 5 years in New Zealand, and then
maybe I'll spend 5 years here.
You reckon you'll last that long?
Depends how much money I make.
No. Yeah.
No, I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, but I've got things that I need to do back home.
It's quite hard, to figure out what you want to do. Yeah, I feel like at school, like, what do you want to do?
Oh,
I don't know.
I still don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm talking to you fellas.
Yeah.
Nah,
help. Yeah, so that brings me back to here, and my cousin here. I don't know if you know, but he's my first cousin. Our mums are sisters. My mum's the oldest because she's the best. No,
she's the next matriarch of the whānau after our grandma dies. Actually, I want to give a shout out to our grandma, GMF.
Oh, yes. Frida. Frida Ava's mummy.
Frida Ava's mummy. Yeah, she's just like, she's next level, eh?
Oh.
She like, not only does she look after her kids, she looks after like her grandkids, the grandkids' kids. If anyone knows our whānau, she is a woman.
Yeah. So, and it's crazy because she's like, obviously she's white. European. But then she's just like she's like the heartiest, man.
Yeah,
she's the heartiest Māori.
So our grandma was German, I think. Oh, I don't know. She's
German,
she's European anyway. And then our koro, which is our grandfather, was full-blooded Māori. But like, because they're obviously husband and wife, like our grandma's like slept in the Māori meeting houses, like. She knows our whakapapa, which is our genealogy. Like
it's just cool how she'll just rock up to the marae, and she just blends in, knows everyone.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're the man.
And she's quite highly respected too, like in them places. Like it's
she's got a bit of mana that.
And it's her 90th birthday next year.
Yeah,
you everyone's welcome.
She's a machine though. Like, man, she's 89 and she. Man, I've seen 70-year-olds that are in way worse.
Yeah, I know.
Physical condition.
For all the local tweed breeds who like this one, my grandma climbed Mount Morning with me when she was like 70-something years old, and she just like hooked it up there, the chains and everything. Like the last 10 or 20 minutes of it is like a chain. Like you pull yourself up on a chain, you got to like, it's pretty much like rock climbing with a chain, bro. And she just boom, like crazy, yeah. She could probably still do it now. She's like nearly 90.
Honestly, I reckon she could. Not even.
You're crazy. Oh, and sorry, I'm just taking time. Oh, but I've never seen someone smash a fly so fast. Like them old school fly squatters. Boom, like a 90-year-old, like there's a fly there, and she's just like, bang. Oi, I'm like, holy shit, she still got it.
Oh, she's sharp as a tack, eh?
All right, back to your story. So.
Yeah.
I hope you like that one, G, man.
Yeah.
You probably won't even watch this, but anyway. I'm sure your other grandkids will probably tell you.
Yeah, she's got a few stories. Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to my mum because she's a beast. And when I was 4 years old, she was pregnant, heavily pregnant, and our Hiace fan, the starter motor on it was broken, not working properly.
Oh, true.
So we had to go into town, and I remember she did this a few times. So she told us, "I'll jump in the van." All the kids in the van. I might have only been a couple somewhere at school, but so I jumped in the van, and then she started to push the van, a Toyota Hiace, pushed the van by herself to get it rolling down our driveway. Jumped in, chucked it in gear, crashed out of it. into town. I'm like, a pregnant lady push starting a Toyota Hiace, absolute legend. Yeah, I always, that's probably one of my earliest memories is that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's a shout out to my mum, and yeah, that's pretty much a quick brief wrap of my life.
Bro, your Māori just took me away. Hey? But I am Tūhui, Whakatohea, Ngāti Paro, Te Arawa, Te Whānau Apanui. I feel like there's heaps. I just can't. Yeah.
That's why I just say my main three, but.
Yeah, main three would probably be Tūhui, Whakatohea. I reckon they're my main ones, but then, yeah, Te Arawa and lately Te Whānau Apanui. I've been hearing a lot about Te Whānau Apanui. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So pretty much the same as me. Huh, funny that.
We must be related. Like, our mums must be sisters or something. I don't know, something close. But, yeah, that was a little bit about us. And now...
Jump into
I feel like my mum will be cut if I don't give her a shout out now.
Yeah.
A shout out.
Yeah.
My mum's just a legend. Yeah, like very hospitable. Takes a lot of people in. Always has. Yeah.
Nothing's ever a problem, eh?
Yeah, nothing's ever a
like,
problem.
yeah, no, I'll be right. Come on.
And like she lost the love of her life, and she's just soldiered on. Like I've never met someone that's just been so tough.
I had a lot of respect for her in that time.
Yeah. I've always had respect for her, not just in that specific time, but in that specific time, it just boosted it up even more, bro. I was like, yeah, like, not only was she there, like, she held it together for her kids. I feel like when your parents, one of them die, it can send the other one off the rail. And I've had friends who have lost their, dad or their mum. And then their mum's just like gone off and like slept with all these random people and just like, maybe just turned into a bit of an alcoholic. Just crazy, just crazy shit. Like, but it's realistic. And my mum never done that. She just like held it down, not only for herself, but for her kids. Yeah. And yeah, definitely made a difference. And I have a lot of respect for her. And she's done so much work on this house. Like, I feel like she'd done more work on the house since the old man's passed away than when he was alive. Like, she got the roof painted, solar panels installed, new fences put up, like subdividing the land, all the yard cleaned up.
She just picked herself up, and just like, oh, well, got to carry on. No one else is going to do it.
Yeah, like, boom. I don't know how she does it. Yeah, but anyway, now I'm here, so I have to mow the lawns, clean the pool. I'm happy. Happy to help her out. It's been a journey for all of us. So, yeah, let's get on with it. We're going to move on to some questionnaires now.
Some surveys.
Surveys. Let's go. Yeah. So we're going to start off. We've got like a few subjects as well. So we're going to like, just go by, try and do it in chronological order. Yeah. So it doesn't get too confusing for you guys.
And then just sort of bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back and forth. Yeah. Maybe I'll go first. Sometimes he'll go first. Yeah. See what.
Maybe you can go first. Or you.
All right, let's get into it. Question number 1. Can I have a drum roll, please? Oh, damn. All right.
Step it up to the streets,
Let's go.
bro.
Let's effing go. Question number 1. Could you share how your overall childhood experiences have, I guess, shaped you into the person you are today? And this is for myself and for Chandu.
Or who else is it going to be for?
Our guest that we haven't introduced yet. Just over. I'm joking.
To our crowd out there.
I just want to give a big shout out to. So my childhood experiences. I feel like a lot of people ask this question for like a defining childhood moment. But I'm just going to do like an overall one. I was pretty much just like raised in a real stable household, Christian household, which I feel like sometimes, like when you're a little kid, like sometimes it's not really the cool thing.
Oh,
Being raised in a
100
Christian household, it's like
lame. Yeah, I was always sort of a bit shy to tell people that I went to church when you're younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's like it's not cool, and I suppose when you're a kid, like they just think you're lame, and I don't know. But I went to a Christian school as well, so it wasn't that lame.
Mm.
I had heaps of friends that went to church as well. And then I guess it brought like Christian values with it as well. Good parenting. I had really good parenting. They were, they raised us really well. And they changed a lot for us kids that, like my upbringing was completely different to my father's, who was just raised in like alcohol. Well, what is it? Alcoholism. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like domestic violence. Just crazy, a little bit crazy. And then he changed all of that for us kids. So like he moved houses heaps. So we pretty much barely moved. He made sure his kids never moved. He like built his own houses. Owned his own...
bit of stability, eh?
Yeah, stability.
Consistency.
Owned his own houses, and then
broke the cycle.
Yeah, he broke the intergenerational cycle. Yeah. Like, and it's crazy because I see some of my cousins, and they've had completely different lifestyles to me because, I guess, in a sense, their parents didn't break the cycle. Yeah, and it's not an easy thing to do. Like, to break the cycle, it's not like you're breaking the cycle for yourself. You're doing it for the future generations. Yeah. Which is actually a really cool thing. So, yeah, big shout out. I just gave a shout out to my mother. I'm going to give a shout out to my old man. Yeah, much respect. It's just incredible what he's been through and what he managed to achieve, and the legacy he left is just like next level. And anyone who knows my father will already know how legendary he is. And then, so I guess I just built a solid foundation to weather the storms.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. And I've faced a few different storms in my life, which we'll get onto later in the questions. All right. What about yourself, my bro?
For me, I would say overall childhood experiences. I think growing up in our house, it wasn't perfect, but we all stayed together. We were just quite tight, and we didn't have a lot of money. So we appreciated the little that we did have. And so, I definitely appreciate the little things, and I celebrate the small wins. And I would say that my childhood experiences is Dad starting up loud V8s that's shaking the house and playing music really loud. And that has shaped who I am today into that person. Like,
I can see that. I can see that.
Yep. But who cares? It's a vibe. But no, it's just mum and dad just always being there was probably the most important thing. Like always showing up to sports, assemblies, coming to gigs and that sort of thing. I think that was pretty huge for us, just having parents there.
Yeah, fully. It does make a difference when they support you. Yeah. Actually, I forgot to mention that my parents took me to sport and band practice.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't get that. Like with parents are just they just don't
what's funny? Like I feel like
that's all right.
Your childhood, when you're little, you don't know anything else, right? So I literally thought like all my friends grew up the same as me in a stable household. Their parents loved them, took them to sport, took them to band practice, took them to learn instruments, to do hobbies, and then when I got older, it wasn't until I realized I'm like, oh, people actually come from broken homes. I don't know.
I always remember that too, when the teacher would hand out permission slips for something at school, and I always remember the teacher saying, get your auntie, your uncle, your nan, your koro, your mum, dad, whoever, get them to sign it. And I always thought, mum, or like auntie, uncle, or nan, like why would they be at your house? And because I just thought a mum and a dad was how everyone's life was. So I always remember, because they always used to repeat it, and I just never really clicked on. I never really clicked on. I just thought, mum, dad, auntie, uncle, nan, whoever, get them to sign it. And I'm just like, okay, that's a bit different, but so that's
actually quite common in our culture too. Even say if my brother couldn't have kids, I would have kids, and I would
give 1 or 2 or whatever to my brother so he could raise and be a father. I think that's quite cool.
Another thing that I wanted to say about childhood experiences is getting a boot up the bum, getting smacks.
Getting a boot up the ass.
Not a good experience when you're a kid, but when you're older, you're like, I needed that, and everyone should get that. That's what I reckon.
Did you ever get the wooden spoon snapped on you a few times?
Oh, we had a few different...
The kettle?
Few different utensils.
The kettle cord?
The belt went pretty hard, eh? The belt was pretty good.
The belt does go hard.
Yeah.
That's a mean belt.
The belt.
You want a mean belt?
And we had this plastic toy car track thing. It was like we never used it at what it was actually for. You put cars on it and then it like slides down it.
Oh, I remember them things.
Yeah, but that was one of them. We used to get that whoosh when that orange thing came out. Like, whoop, later, whoa. Yeah, or bend over and you're like,
God damn.
Oh, that's...
I got some wooden spoons, but I feel like my brother got them more, which is weird because I've always seen him as like the perfect child. But Mum snapped the wooden spoon on him a fair few times. Shout out to my brother.
That'd be a good wooden spoon too. I bet that would, right?
Yeah, crazy, eh?
It's like some karate thing, where they chop the blocks.
Yeah. Just snap it in half.
Yeah. Nah, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much
all right.
all I have to say about that.
Legend question number 2.
What has been the most challenging experience in your life, and how did you overcome it?
Would have been my father passing away in 2020. I feel like losing a parent is pretty hard. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's like a nightmare. Like I think about it, I'm like, I don't want to go there.
You know, I actually thought about losing my parents before I lost my father. I don't know why I randomly thought about this. Pretty random thought, eh? But I was like, I felt like when my parents, like I lost my father, like I'd just go off the rails. Like I thought I'd hit the drugs real hard, just be in a real big downward spiral in a real dark place. Yeah. And I don't know. I just expected that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, it was a weird thought, but then I actually lost my father, and then I never ended up going down that path, which is quite interesting. I actually sort of done the opposite. I wanted to do things that would make my old man proud. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like I was like, would the old man be proud if I did this? And then if I thought of it, and it sort of makes you do more positive things as well. Yeah. Like the old man wouldn't want me to, just like get on all these hardcore drugs and slip down into like a downward spiral of depression and anxiety and all these things. He'd want me to celebrate his life and live it in his honor. And so I sort of like always had that in the back of my head. I managed to just sort of like keep on pushing forward. Now, this isn't to say that I didn't have grief. I still suffered a lot of grief. And me and my father were actually super tight. So like, we went from like father and son. And then when I was around about 19, I got kicked out of home. I was being a little dirtbag.
Teenage dirtbag,
baby. Yeah. I learnt my lesson, and then I ended up reconnecting with my father. I mean,
You're still pretty close.
I never not talked to him. Yeah. I pretty much only got kicked out of home for 3 weeks, but then I just decided to not come back. But like we were still on pretty good speaking terms and things. But before he passed away, I moved to New Zealand in 2019, and then we became like best mates. It's like we went from like father and son to like best mates. We used to go mountain biking through the redwoods together. We'd go camping, sleep out in the car, bro, and just like set up bonfires, have a few beers, like just yarns. Yeah, like real quality whānau yarns. And then, like we went to White Islands 2 weeks before it exploded. Like that could have been us. And then like, it was crazy. And then we went to like Taupoi. It took me up to Tuhoi, one of my main tribes. That's actually one of my old man's main tribes. And like showed me my whakapapa, which is my genealogy, like where I'm from, connected me to my land, my ancestors. And I feel like that actually helps you be grounded. Like being grounded is like a super, it's part of your foundation to weather the storms. Like if you know where you are and where you come from, you know where you're going. All these things he done, like, were in the last month, like 10 months before he passed away. So it was just like crazy. And then like we were like super tight. And then I guess that did make it harder when he passed away. But it made it easier because I didn't have any regrets.
Yeah. You'd had those positive experiences with him.
Yeah.
And like, no regrets, eh?
Yeah, no regrets. So that definitely made it easier. But that would have been the most challenging time in my life. And then like how I overcome it, I guess I surrounded myself with like, you know, family, and I've done a lot of like outdoor activities. I feel like getting outside, you know, like when you lose someone, I feel like you can slip into a bit of a hole. It's quite common, and you don't really get out, and maybe you disconnect yourself. And it's weird because isolation is sort of good after grief, but it depends how far you go. Do you know what I mean? Like don't fully isolate yourself in a dark room. Obviously, you probably need a little bit more time to yourself to grieve, but then like still stay connected, whether that's like within a community, a church, a friend group, your family, your whānau, extended family, immediate family. Yeah, that's a big thing, staying connected. And I went up. It's not my maunga, which is my mountain, but I went.
Yes, it is.
Snowboarding at Mount. Is it?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to talk about something else.
No. I went snowboarding a lot, and I always, when I was back in Australia, because I lived on the Gold Coast, on the coast, my place of tranquility, I call it, would be looking out over the ocean, like going to the beach, and I'd like go up on these rocks at D-Bar and just like look over the ocean and just take in the fresh salt air. And it was like my peaceful place. I could think, I could meditate, like, you know, like I felt connected. And then in New Zealand, I wasn't living close to the water, but I would go I lived close to lakes, a lot of lakes,
like 30 meters.
I lived really close to a lake, but I don't know, it just wasn't the same for me, you know. When I look over the ocean at the Gold Coast, I can't see anything else. Like I can see water as far as the horizon goes, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just like different. You can hear the waves crashing on the rocks, and I don't know, I've been brought up here too, so yeah. And then in New Zealand, I would go up to the top of the mountains, and I feel like everything's white. It was like a blank canvas where I could just paint my own future, and that was like my tranquil place where I could closer to my father, closer, you know, like I was like high up.
Well, you can just block everything out, eh?
Yeah.
And it's like there's no one there. There's nothing man-made. It's all just...
Yeah, nature.
Like, nature.
Being surrounded in nature. And I think that's a real big thing too, going out in nature.
Like,
that's probably how I dealt with it. Staying connected, going out in nature, exercising, staying positive, and doing things that made my old man proud.
Cool.
Oh, yo, how are we, Finn? While I got you here, I just want to give a quick shout out to our affiliate sponsor for this video today. My Heritage has a special promo going on. You get a DNA kit that you can find out your ethnicity, your family tree. It's actually really cool. I'll give you a little quick look on the app. We've got an app as well. You've got your family tree, your DNA, photos, discoveries, research. For example, DNA. I'm 58% Polynesian, 25.8% Scandinavian. If you actually go into the ethnicity estimate, it'll show you where I'm from on the map, and you can go through it on a deeper level and find out. And you can also go back through and it'll help you pick up your family tree. You can go through there, figure it out. There I am. Oh shit, you know how old I am now. We got my father, my mother, all her line. This is my mother's line, her grandfather, her grandma. My grandma was German, so you can go back through. That was my great grandfather. You can see like all his kids, his siblings, which is pretty awesome. And before you ask, fam, it's not a scam. I've done it myself. Me, my brother, my sister, my mum, my dad. The cool thing is we actually done my old man's not long before he passed away, and we got his DNA results back after he had passed. We found out his ethnicity, we found out his family tree, and it's so awesome to have these connections with my father. Something that I never would have had if I hadn't have got this opportunity. Also,
just knowing it for myself and my own DNA, it's an incredible thing and a great conversation starter at the bar. So please, if you guys want to test it out for yourself, remember to use the code TIDES. You can use the link in my description below, or please feel free to scan the QR code and it'll take you to the site where you can purchase your own DNA kit. And I forgot to ask, if you guys like the video, please give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks, fam. I'll see you back in the episode. What about you, my bro?
Yeah. Most challenging experience. I wouldn't say my life has been super like filled with trouble and tribulations and stuff, but I have had a few instances where one time I was just pretty much heckled online. Heaps of people hating on me and like sending me nasty messages, and that was probably the first time in my life where I was like, man, I haven't really had anything that hard in my life that's tested me. And I was like, oh wow, is this what it feels like? And the thing that got me over the line or helped me get through was God in that 100%, because I don't know what to do, so I just started praying, and then God just gave me peace, and he renewed my focus, and he pretty much gave me new eyes to see that people who are behind the screen, they are just reacting off what they see and just off their emotions, which, you know, everyone does. So it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It's just that they just, you know, someone tells them something and they get angry. So I just thought, oh, that, you know, someone's told them all these things have happened and that I'm a bad person, so they're going to come at me and try say all these profanities at me. I just felt peace, and I was like, you know, if you want to say that, that's all right. And that sort of started a whole little journey for me of just forgiving people and trying to understand that everyone makes decisions for a reason, and their actions don't always define who they are. So that was the basis of that was just God giving me the strength to push through and giving me a new vision of how people.
That's probably going to prepare you for the road we're going on now, baby, because we're going to be super famous and we're going to get a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you obviously get a lot of love, but like being online and making yourself public, you know, like you're never going to please everyone.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it doesn't matter what anyone says. Like,
exactly.
I can look past that straight away and just be like, you know, it's all good, bro. If you want to say that and you feel angry, that's all right. But, you know, still love you, bro. It's all good. You know, that's pretty much how I see things now. With
forgiveness is huge.
Oh yeah.
Plays a big part. All right, question number 3. How did your upbringing in a Christian household influence your values and decisions?
So I would have to say it's pretty much the basis of who I am. Slightly modified in bits and places, but the Christian influence on me personally has been pretty big. And because God's always been there, and I've always known that he's, I don't know what he stands for, and basic the basis of a Christian, I don't know, life, I suppose, or how we should live. And I think it's a good basis that everyone should apply in their life.
Oh, that's cool, bro. I like it.
Yeah.
I guess the values it brings is like the fruits of the Spirit. You know, like out of the Bible: love, hope, joy, peace, patience, kindness, all them things.
I feel like sometimes Christians we can look at those and go, oh, you know, I'm not patient.
Yeah.
Like I'm not good enough, but
it gives you a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's the goal. Like, that's the the guide. As you can look at these things and go, man, am I patient? No, I really need to work on that. And then you can work towards that. It's not saying everyone's going to be 100% all of those all the time.
Well, that's impossible. Yeah. No one's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, it is true. It's an interesting one. I feel like love has probably been a very big one in my household. We've always felt very loved. Like some kids don't feel loved. Like that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Always felt appreciated, which is pretty cool. It's a blessing. Forgiveness is a huge one as well. I feel like the shout out to my whānau, my parents actually. They're probably like one of the most forgiving people I've ever known. I've had family members, extended family members, do some crazy stuff, which I'm not going to tell you. No way. No. But crazy stuff. And like even their own mother cut them off. And like a lot of my dad's brothers and sisters cut their nephew and their son off. And my dad never did that. Pretty much is in jail for 35 years minimum.
Enough said.
Crazy, yeah.
Enough said.
But my parents like stayed in contact with him. He used to write my mother cards from Mother's Day and just be like so grateful, like thank you, like you've pretty much been a mother to me. Like my own mother cut me off. They've just been super forgiving, and I've learned that as well, like to forgive. Some people just don't got it. They hold grudges and they just don't know how to let go.
Yeah.
And forgiving doesn't mean like forgetting. Like I mean, it comes together. Forgive and forget. But like, you obviously still remember, but
it's in your heart, eh? You got to forgive in your heart. Otherwise, you can't just say, "Oh, I forgive you."
Yeah.
But it's still in there, so
like,
it comes from the heart.
Yeah, and God knows if you have or you have.
Yeah.
Can't hide shit. Yeah. So yeah, they've probably been big ones.
Yeah. So next question: how has your faith evolved over the years, and what role does it play in your life today?
My faith has evolved over the years. I guess I was brought up as a Christian in a Christian household, but it doesn't necessarily mean I believe. I suppose I did believe in God, but I never experienced God. Like I never had a personal experience with God until I was probably like 15, I would say. We had like a really good youth group growing up, and I was part of like the youth band and things, and we used to do these camps. They were called like summer camps, where pretty much all the Tweed youth would go and catch up with the other youth groups from the far north coast, so like Lismore, Ballina, Byron, sometimes even like Coffs Harbour and things. We'd all like link up, and we'd just have like 3, 4, 5 days just like out in this camp zone, like on the beach. And that was the first time I ever experienced God for myself, and it's crazy. Like that I guess that's how I found out He was real, because people when they don't experience God for themselves, it's a bit hard when you speak to others to justify in a sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I grew up as a Pentecostal Christian, so I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and I pretty much got touched by the Holy Spirit. Like I was in tears. Yeah. And it wasn't just me, it was like the whole room. Like everyone was just in tears. We'd all just been like touched, like this experience. And it was super incredible. That's how I realized God was real. But I'm not perfect. And I was probably I was really connected in the youth leader, youth band, mentoring until I was like 19, and then I sort of left the church. I guess my faith was a little bit tested then. I sort of left. All I'd ever known was the church. So I just wanted to go out there and experience life for myself.
Yep.
But I never stopped believing in God, because I had that experience. Like, so even though I left the church, I didn't leave God. Did that make
100%.
Does that make sense? Like I still had a relationship with God. Probably just wasn't that good. But then, in the last little bit, I've come back to the Lord. My faith has been tested, and my endurance had a chance to grow. My character had a chance to grow. Just in the scriptures. Yeah. What about yourself, my bro?
I think I've sort of talked about it briefly before, but we left my family left the church when I was about 11, and I didn't go back till like 2019 it was. I went back to church. And over those years, God never left, pretty much. Like, you know when you do something wrong and God's just there and he's like, you know that was wrong. Like, you know you shouldn't be doing it.
You can feel it,
Yeah. But you're just like, no, it's all right. But you know deep down inside, and God just gives you that nudge. He's just like, come on, you know that's not right. And also it's just like, I'm still here. Like, I still love you. You know what you're doing. And then, since I've been back at church, it's just been, I've just been growing my faith, reading the Bible and trying to understand the book. And there's so much to wrap your head around in the Bible, but it's just building my base and knowing that God loves me. And the other thing is, I've just been tested with things that you pray for. You're like, man, I hope this happens, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then nothing's happening, and you're just like, God, what's happening? Like, why? And you sort of question yourself, and then it brings you back to reality, and just you quickly realize, okay, this is, don't be dumb. It's, and
I feel like you got to be careful what you pray for too.
Yeah.
Like, like people are like, oh, pray for strength or something. God will put you through tests to test your strength and your character. Like he'll break you down to make you stronger. So you got to be careful.
He breaks you down. Yeah.
You got to be careful.
And that's when you look to him, is when you're like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm lost. And that's when you turn to God, and he's like, here I am. And you're like, my guy.
Exactly. God came for the broken, not for the righteous.
He'll always come through. Doesn't matter when. He'll always come through. Yeah.
I love it, bro. How do you approach sharing your faith with others in a non-judgmental way?
For me, it's just depends on when the conversation comes up. I'll sort of just mention God or something. It depends who you're talking to, because some people you can feel that they're just a bit bitter, or as soon as you mention it, they're just going to push away or something. But some people, you can tell they're a bit more free thinking and a bit open, and then sometimes you can just drop in like, oh, do you think there's aliens, and you can sort of start those conspiracy theories, there's those sorts of things, and then you can just go, oh, what about, do you think there's a God? And then you can sort of lean in that way. Also being a light and just trying to live the best life, the best Christ-like life. And so people can see it, like, why is that guy different? Why, like, he's different. He's not weird, but he's just something different that people can notice. So I try, because I'm not an evangelist. I'm not that good at
For people who don't know the Bible, there's 5 types: pastors, evangelists, prophets, apostles, and teachers.
Nice.
All have different gifts. But for me, probably like just being an example, and I'm not the perfect example, but I am who I am. And I feel like just being real. But I've always been super positive. And I've had friends come to the Lord through me. You know what you said before? Like they just see something different. And they're like, what is that? Like, I want that. And I've had friends come to me, like one of my good mates, actually, I was like sitting in the car after work one day, and he like called me up and he's like, oh bro, I just started reading my Bible. And I'm like, bullshit. I thought he was just pulling my leg, I thought he had me on. And he's like, nah, bro, I have. And I was like, for real? And that was just because, like, he's seen how, I don't know, there was something different about us, and then I got him to pray in this. But I've never liked Bible bashers. Like, I've never liked the people that stand on the corner of the street and just yell at you about condemnation, when Christ is actually about compassion.
But I think there are some people that have a gift to talk to people. And I've seen a few guys on YouTube and social media and stuff that man, they just know how to directly cut to people. And I've seen a few, like where people have come up yelling at them, and then they just start speaking to them, and then they just sort of calm down, and then they just soften up. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You could say they're actors and all that sort of thing, but I don't believe they are.
Know. Yeah, but each to their own. I mean, some people are called for that.
Yeah, some people are called to do that, and some people are just annoying. No, but their heart's in the right place, so I suppose that's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like people, obviously pastors in the church, they preach, and then there's people that go out and sort of talk about it as well. And people always notice something different about my family. Actually, one of my cousins said she always looked to my family as like this light. Like when she'd go through dark times and depression, there was hope from our family. And then when I look back at what she said, that hope was God. You know, like the only difference between her family and my family was we had God. You know, like we were brought up in a Christian home. We had faith. We had something to fall back on.
Yeah, core.
Yeah, a foundation. And I feel like, I don't force it upon others. I just, I am who I am, and if you don't like it, beep off. Nah, I'm joking. I love God, and I guess people can see that. I never like forcing it, and I'm not perfect.
Yeah, 100%. No one is.
Yeah, I still say the occasional slip up, you know, with the swear words and stuff. But
what about in terms of resilience? What does that mean to you? And
resilience.
Yeah. RESI.
Resilience. Can you say that in a sentence for me, please? Nah, I'm joking. I guess resilience. There's always times when your faith is tested. You know, like and you put through tests that will test your character and things. Having that resilience there, it's like your backbone. But I feel like just God is never ending. He's unfailing. He's just like always there, and he never changes. It's just a solid foundation, and it's helped me weather storms. When I've been in tough times, I've prayed. Yeah, like what else can you do? So I've always had that as my core resilience, I guess, my faith. Yeah. It's been a blessing.
Yeah.
Don't know what I'd do without it. What about yourself, bro?
My resilience comes from me being stubborn, partly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can attest to that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking.
I just don't like to lose. Oh, not lose in terms of games and stuff, but like.
Well, winners never lose.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're a loser.
Facts. Yeah. But if I put my mind to something, I want to do it, and I want to achieve it. So I pretty much just don't give up until I achieve it. And then, I've definitely been tested in with my perseverance and resilience, like in the last few years with different projects and stuff, and I'm just like pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're not getting there, and resilience has been tested. But I just keep on pushing, and it comes from God giving me strength, and I pray for resilience, so and just strength. So that comes from God, but also me being stubborn.
Yeah, fair. What about how's community support, I guess, like played a role in your journey, like especially during tough times?
Yeah, community support, church and family, pretty much I would say is. Oh, and mates, I suppose, is community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, heaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, friends are always the right ones anyway. Always, important to have. Family that wants to help you, always good. And church is awesome. I love church and the people, or the right church as well. Yeah, but I think
that's true.
Yeah, church has got so many avenues and different support systems for everyone of different backgrounds. So I think church is a massive one for me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's probably same. Family, immediate and extended. for those of you who don't know, we have a massive extended whānau.
Yeah.
There's 30 of us on just our mum's side.
Yeah, it's sort of easy to have community support. Massive family.
Yeah, and then friends obviously as well, staying connected in like a community sport group, a church, even your work. Like you can have real solid workmates. Some are actually my best mates, like from work. Like I met them through a job I was doing, and crazy. So just staying connected. I feel like it's good for like emotional support, you know, like encouragement as well, motivation. If your friends are gonna motivate you, I feel like your family always does. You know, they always push you they want the best for you. So yeah, that would be that one.
I just love it how you can. Well, I've got a lot of friends that I don't see that often, but when you catch up with them, it's just like, you know, you never separated, or you never were apart for like 5 years, or never saw them for 5 years. So
and you just
get the right.
Oh, you just straight back
it's
in,
just like boom. I could just go walk back into school tomorrow. So yeah, I've got heaps of friends like that.
I do like that, eh? Do you want to go on to the next one, bro? My bro host?
Yeah.
You want to go on to the next one, G?
I don't mind if I do.
Oh, sure, I can't see.
Yeah, so this podcast, what motivated you to start it? And what's the goals for this podcast? What do you want to achieve? Yeah.
Going on with the big question.
Yeah.
So,
what brought it about?
I've always wanted to do something for myself. Like, that sounds selfish, eh? But I've always wanted to be like I guess like an entrepreneur or something. I don't know. Like I've always wanted to
just forge your own path, eh?
Yeah, forge my own path, and I've always enjoyed. Like I've always sort of wanted to be the boss, and not because I like telling you what to do. I just don't like being told what to do, and I just wanted to forge my own path and create my own thing. I've always sort of wanted to do that, and I never did. And if you're not working on your own dream, you're working on someone else's. And I would always think about that, and I'm like, I'm putting in so much time, effort, energy into a multi-billion-dollar company. Like I was a sales manager for Coke. Coke's one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, sure, like I was making this company millions of dollars. I could be doing that for myself.
Yeah, and you're replaceable too. If you leave, like
you're literally just a number. Like and
next.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just really wanted to work on myself, upskill myself. I believe upskilling yourself and focusing on yourself and investing in yourself is the most important thing you can ever do. And I also felt God just dropped this on my heart as well. So I was like,
you can't argue with that.
Yeah. Can't really argue with that. So here I am. And
what advice would you give someone who's going through maybe a low tide in their life?
Yeah, like a difficult phase. Yeah.
Difficult phase.
I would say sort of what I said before, like stay connected, seek help too. Like I feel like seeking help is quite big. Like a lot of people are ashamed.
Yeah.
Like I have a psychologist. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I have one. You know, and I'm proud to have one. Like to be able to go and seek help when you need to. There's I don't know why people are ashamed of that. Like,
it's just talking to someone.
Yeah. So I think that's a real big one. Surrounding yourself with good people, friends, family, obviously exercising, getting outside in nature, enjoying it, and if you've lost a loved one, do things that would honour their memory, make them proud.
I'd probably say, for me, find God. Read the Bible. No, but like find God, because when you give up and you want to give up, what do you draw on to give you that strength to not give up?
Yeah.
Like you can't. It doesn't come from someone else. It comes from within, and God gives you that strength. So that's why I think when you're in the lows and you can't hack it no more. Yeah, there's only one way.
I agree with that one, my bro. I agree with that one. Cheer my bro.
That was an easy answer.
No. So on to the next question. How have you seen yourself change over the past decade, and how has that contributed to your growth?
I've definitely reflected a lot more and challenged myself on my thoughts, and yeah, I've just had new mindsets from just constantly reflecting and trying to make myself better and challenge all my stubborn habits or things that I've just always done, or things that God has put on my heart that I need to change. So yeah, it's definitely contributed to me being a more calm. Yeah, calm. I'll go with calm.
Oh, you actually are a very calm person, I feel like. Not much phases you.
No.
You're just like quite steady. Where me, I'm like boom, 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 boom. My life, I feel like in the last 10 years, maybe specifically the last 5 years, my life's just been like a roller coaster. Like lots of good real high highs and some real freaking low lows.
Oh yeah,
like,
whoa, lows.
Boom, boom, boom. And like I've actually wanted consistency, but like I mean I have been through a little bit of trauma over the last little bit. So like yeah, it has been like that, and it's interesting, and I feel like fighters have that as well, you know, like with their losses and their wins, it's just like boom, it's a crazy time. But it has helped me like become more in tune with myself, and I guess more mature. Self-reflection has been a big one. I feel like that's also a big difference between people who like grow and don't grow. If you can self-reflect a lot, which is a lot harder than you think it is, you know what I mean, like, and some things you might not like, and you want to change, but it's actually a lot harder to change it than you think. You know, like, like it's a work in progress. I feel like nobody knows yourself better than yourself. So like self-reflecting is one of the most important parts of your journey if you want to grow. A lot of people ask other people for advice, which is good too. You should seek advice.
100%.
But I feel like you should self-reflect just as much as you seek advice, or if not more. Yeah. It's a very important part. Yeah. So I don't know. I've just slowly been working through life issues, trauma, and I don't know. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, but I feel like I have become a lot more mature.
Yeah. The quote, navigating the changing tides of life, that you say at the start of the show, and it's sort of like our motto.
Tides. It is our motto.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, what does that mean? Where did it come from?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
You want me to answer that one? No.
You're talking on me?
You're talking on me. Tides Talk. We actually had two names. We had Tides Talk and we had Triumph Talks. Both two incredible names. Tides was probably more universal, you know, like it could mean literally, like it could mean tides has many.
There's a lot of different meanings.
Yeah. So we ended up going with that one. What does the navigating the changing tides of life mean to me? I feel like tides, like, they shape you into who you are in a sense. A cool quote I just put up, check my story. I ought to be gone by the time you check it. The waves will never stop, but you can learn to surf. Yeah. And I'm going to finish the video off with that. That's going to be our new close quote. The waves will never stop, but you can learn to surf. And pretty much like, throughout
Did you think of that?
As long as you exist, you're going to face trials and tribulations. Yeah. Of course I did. I just steal the videos. But I do all the quotes myself. Well, I mean, some of the quotes I put up are quotes from other people. Like in that last one, I put up a quote from C.S. Lewis. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
What about that one from Rick Warren? That quote.
His video. Oh yeah.
What is that one?
So this is another one that's real big for the changing tides in my life, and this actually helped get me through a lot of times. Like when my father passed away, I wrote a massive post on Instagram, and at the bottom of the post I shared this quote, and it stuck with me probably from like when I was like a teenager till now. There is no growth without change, no change without fear of loss, and no loss without pain. So pretty much credit to Rick Warren. So it's pretty much like you can't grow, like in a sense, without suffering pain. Like,
what was that scripture that you had? I think you wrote it down.
Romans 5:3.
about building character. Like
yeah. So like, I feel like it is super important, and there is a verse in the Bible. You can rejoice like when you run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance, and endurance helps develop strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. Pretty much like
that's cool.
It's like never ending.
If you can just have hope when you're at your lowest, that you're just going through a season, and you're developing endurance and strength and all those things, and it's just the season. That you'll get through.
I feel like it's a big one. It's a big one. Hope can be that little light at the end of the tunnel. What about you? Yeah.
What was the question?
What does navigating the changing tides of life mean to you personally?
To me, well, tides go up and down, and they always go up and down. So your life's always going to go up and down.
Like my roller coaster of a life.
So it's just, that when the tide goes out, it's going to come back in. Like, yes, we can predict the tides, but the principle is that, there's always, the tide's always going to change.
Yeah.
So you just have to be prepared for when the tide goes out, and you can go and get the puppies, G. Down at Maketua.
Yeah, G, hard out there.
So when the tide goes out, you go and get you some puppies, Margie. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it means to me. And I think it's cool. Yeah.
What goes out must come back. What goes up must come down. Hey,
and also, another thing I think... Oh, sorry, Fano. I just dropped it. When the tide comes back in, it's clean. Like the water's clean. Like fresh seawater coming back in.
Yeah,
and when the tide goes out, it drags all the old dirty water out that's been sitting in the harbour.
Crazy,
yeah. I thought of that. Trademark Johnny Grant 284. No.
Tides talk. See, it has many meanings, and I feel like it can be so universal.
It's so versatile, eh?
Yeah.
You can use it in so many ways.
Yeah. How do you stay motivated and inspired during challenging times?
Just looking forward to the end goal, prayer, and looking forward, and determination. Oosh. Just straight mana from within, straight.
Got that tuhui mana, eh, Margie? Except you're not tuhui.
That is true. I got that Pacquiao mana.
Yeah. It's all the same, G. It's all the same.
Yeah, but
you like our Kiwi accent? We can switch it on.
That's all I got. Sorry, I don't know anything else.
I guess for me, motivated. During challenging times, sometimes like the end goal's really good.
Just like.
But I feel like sometimes it can be a long way off. And then you get discouraged because it's such a far way away. I want this podcast to be bigger than Joe Rogan's. That probably never happened. That's a long way off. If I dwell on that,
that's true.
I'm gonna be super depressed. So I focus on the little wins, like along the way, along the journey.
I want to change my answer now.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No.
But
I'm just like
But like setting your main goal is super important. And to be honest, that's not actually my main goal, but it'd be wicked if it was. And then like obviously trying to maintain a routine. I feel like when you're an entrepreneur working for yourself, it's very important, but it can also be a little bit hard. Yeah. Like 100%. Trying to maintain the routine.
Distractions.
Yeah, so many distractions and this and that. Staying connected, practicing self-care as well, like looking after your mental health, your physical health. That's a big one, because if your body's not performing, you ain't going to be performing mentally, physically. Seek inspiration as well. That's a big one. Like I feel like everyone has people they look up to. And taking breaks as well. People sometimes think taking breaks is a weird one, but it prevents burnout. And like if there's no shame in like just going too hard, and like you have to have consistency, not like up, down, go real hard and burn yourself out. Like taking a break's fine.
When you take a break, you can look back and see.
And self-reflect.
Yeah, and see, oh, okay, I'm here now. Where do I need to go next?
Yeah.
And just reassess a trajectory.
Yeah, exactly. And being adaptable and flexible is a big one too, because things are always changing. Nothing's ever going to be the same. So you can try and be as consistent as you want, but other things might come in the way, and you got to adapt and be flexible to that. And then obviously, when you're real down and low, and you're like, man, why did I start this? Reflect on your why. Like, why did I start this? What? Like, you know what I mean? And like, that's like a huge one to like, oh yeah, I started it because of this, blah, 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 blah. And then it pitches you back into gear. They're my ones.
That's cool. All right. Do you want to do some fun questions?
Some funny ones. Oh yeah, G, need all right? Yeah, all right. Go on, blast me away, G. Blast me away. Nah.
So you go out to dinner. Yeah. You go out to a lovely restaurant. Like Macca's or something.
Yeah, let's go.
And and you can invite one person, a historical figure, dead or alive, who's gonna join you at the table and order Happy Meal for you.
Does it have to be McDonald's? Nah, I'm joking.
Yeah, of course.
What about beefcake? Nah, historical figure. Interesting. I feel like I have two, actually. I'm going to say two, and they're polar opposites. I would love to sit down with Jesus.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a hard one, eh? Like,
that's a good one.
I mean, I pray to him every day, so I'm like, why don't I actually like sit down and talk to him in person?
well, the perfect person, like the only one who was perfect.
Like, who doesn't want to break bread with the Son of God? You know, like we take communion to actually do it in person. Oh, fuck, that'd be next level. And like just the advice I'd get, the information, I'd be completely humbled.
You could never fathom, like, man.
Yeah.
Just taking it all.
It would be crazy, yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, it'd be wicked. So I'd love to do that. And the next person is like the polar opposite, probably the Antichrist, actually. So the first one was Christ, and the second one is Antichrist. Adolf Hitler. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's dark, eh?
He went there.
No, I did go there.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, and I wasn't going to go there. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go there. And I think it's because I actually just want to understand why. Like, why he thought he was the superior race. Why did he try and take over the world? Why was he classed as the Antichrist? You know, like, why did he do all these crazy things? Like, what was actually going on in his head? And if I actually could just change this question a little bit, I would actually sit down with both of them at the table at the same time.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, and then, yeah, just imagine the conversation. Like, and Jesus, I mean, he could perform miracles. He could have changed Hitler just like that.
Yeah. There's no one that's too far gone for God.
Exactly. Like, you know, like forgiveness. Like I said before, huge thing. Not saying I forgive Hitler. But like, I didn't even know the man. But yeah, crazy. So that's my answer. So what about you, my bro?
Yeah, obviously Jesus. That would be the
You can't steal my answer. Nah, it's okay. You can if you want. You can if you want.
That's a given, but it's not a historical figure. But
Jesus is a historical figure.
No, the next person.
Oh,
yeah, he was a figure in the history of the past. But my grandfather on my dad's side, my koro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, koro Robert, because I never got to meet him, but.
Oh, you never got to meet him?
Yeah, he died in like the 80s. So
same as my dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never met my
dad's
like,
parents. I've only seen, maybe a handful of photos of him. And I've heard a few sad stories and things about coming back from the war. So, yeah, it would be interesting to talk to him and just see how similar he is to all of us, because I've heard he was quite similar to a bit of a clown like all of our families. So yeah, it's just, I think a lot of people would be the same. They're just sort of intrigued by someone they've never met that
was he the one that went to the war? Did he go to the war? Gallipoli or something? Oh no, not Gallipoli.
No, he was over in Egypt and stuff. Yeah, World War II.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, interesting character, man.
That would be.
And my uncles and aunties don't really talk about him, so we don't really get to hear too many stories about him, and most of the people that knew him have all died as well. So it's just like a bit of a missing piece, to my life. So yeah, that'll be a J Sus and my Koro Robert.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. What's a hobby or interest that people might be surprised to learn about you? Like everyone knows you like cars and this and that, but what's something they don't know?
That's it.
Surely you got something else.
Something that people might be surprised. Ain't no surprises here, cuz skids and jamming out. That's about it. I play the guitar, bit of drums and bass guitar, so just a bit of a tutu, really. Yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
Surprises. Well, I mean, everyone knows I like snowboarding because if you look at my Instagram, it's pretty much just all snowboarding.
Yep.
I like skating because probably a bit of skating as well. Surprise. I like drumming. Oh, I don't know if you guys
Drums
know
is
that
cool,
or
eh?
not. Yeah, I'm a
Drums
drummer. I was
cool.
brought up as a drummer from like 13 years old. I like watching the news actually, and I like knowing what's going on in the world. You know, like people go on YouTube. Sometimes I just look at World War III. I like history too. I like looking back on the past. Like I said before, if you don't know where you come from, how are you supposed to know where you're going? You know, like if you look at the past, you can sort of project the future. Like World War I, World War II. Obviously, there's going to be a World War III. It's just a matter of when. You know, like so. I actually like looking into random things like that as well. Yeah, that's probably something surprising that you guys don't know. Yeah,
I like
and AI and things like that. I actually love technology. Yeah.
Oh,
really
how
interested.
about this? I thought about this the other night when I was going to sleep. Well, imagine if they have AI judges. So you go into court and the AI, you just talk to the AI computer and it's like beep, 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 beep. Guilty. Nah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that on Elysium. It wasn't an AI judge though, but it was like they'd already been sentenced. So they go to like the Centrelink or the support worker, and the support worker is literally just a robot. And obviously zero compassion. You know how like you can talk to a human and you might get some sense of compassion? Zero compassion. It's a robot,
it's,
you know?
It's just like 1 + 1 is 2. That's it.
Yeah,
It's not like, oh, but how did you feel? Nah.
Yeah.
It's just it's just the formula.
I know.
That's all there is.
And AI is just like evolving. I think there's like 7 levels of AI, but you can go into it. We're on like level 1, where we like still have to tell AI what to do, and then it will give us the answer. But then like the next step is AI will already know what we're gonna ask it. It'll predict the future, and then it will already act on its thing. Yeah, and then it just goes on and on and on until it's like iRobot. Watch that movie by Will Smith. Good movie.
What about when you've come home from a long day at work, sitting on your bed, watching YouTube?
Yeah, watching YouTube. Stressed out from all the editing. You know,
that didn't work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
How do you relax? How do you chill out?
Sink a few beers, sink a few cold ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. I don't know. I do a little bit of boxing. I've got a little home gym out the back. A little Muay Thai, Kahika Den Muay Thai. Guys are more than welcome to come try it out. If you donate, of course. No. Yeah, so I do a little bit of that. Sometimes I actually like taking my electric skateboard for like a hook along, either just around the block. I live on the river as well, so I got like a real nice view. So I'll just take it along the river, or sometimes I'll like head down to the beach and hook along the beach. That's like peaceful and I don't know, nice. Yeah, and then sometimes gaming or just chilling out, watching a bit of Netflix. Yeah,
cool.
The standard. Yeah, standard thing. Yeah,
that's cool. Everyone's got their own ways of chilling out. I would say
yours is probably working on a car.
Yeah. It would be, yeah. As long as it's something cool or like fast, loud, not like changing a tie rod end on a Toyota Hilux. A standard Hilux. That I don't mind it, but yeah, just working on the cars. Having a jam on the old instruments. Sometimes just doing nothing. Eating I love to eat, as everyone else does. But apart from that, no, nothing crazy. Just I like to do skids and stuff, but yeah.
Does that make your heart rate elevate though, or does it soothe you?
Nah, it's being in control of something that's not in control.
Yeah.
That's what skids
That's
is.
what turns you on.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what revs my engine.
That's cool, bro. That's cool.
But yeah, it's just the feeling, like the physical feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it for the questions. So, like, I hope that gave you guys a little bit of insight into us. We could have gone into a lot deeper, but, you know, like, it's already probably an hour and something. So, you know, we're glad. We hope you guys learned something. And if you are suffering from, I don't know, any grief or anything, I hope you got something out of it. And if you're in a happy space, also hope you got something out of it.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, make the most of it. Enjoy.
Because the tide's about to change.
Yeah,
No,
you never know, yeah. So you might be on a high tide, but the low tide could be just around the corner. But I'm not going to jinx you, touch wood. But in the future, we got... it's good to be back, by the way. Good to be back, guys. We will have some guests on the show. We might do a little bit more filler episodes as well. We took a long time away, but we are still learning how we're going to fit guests in our studio and things like that. So we're going to have a little play around. So you might notice in future episodes, and it's just me and the bro host, we might be in different locations, here, there. We're just going to have a little play and see what works.
America, Japan, like just random
Norway,
places.
Tasmania. No, I'm joking. Who would go to Tassie? Ooh, nah, I'm joking.
Kawerau. Nah.
Town or Portuguese. Nah. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to have some cool guests on as well. It'll be cool. We're going to try and be more consistent. I remember in the when we finished off that last episode, we were like, oh yeah, we're going to be consistent. And how consistent? Well, you guys just found out it's been about a month or so.
And some. Damn.
And some. But yeah, we're still working through these glitches, but we will be more consistent. Hopefully, like, what do you reckon? Maybe like every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Every 2 weeks, hopefully.
Don't hold us to it, please. Thank you.
Yeah. If it's longer than a month, I'm going to be super disappointed in myself. So we'll make something happen. And I don't want to reveal too much about our guests. So you're just going to have to wait and hold on. Buckle your seatbelt because it's coming too soon. Yeah. It's going to be pretty epic, though.
If you got any questions or anything, if you need help just with any problems or anything, just drop a message. We probably won't know how to help you, but we can potentially push you to someone that you can help.
Yeah.
Or if you just have questions for us or
Q&A.
Yeah, any sort of anything.
Yeah.
If you say we suck, then just write it down. All good.
Yeah. We'd love to hear your feedback because we want to know what you guys think. Yeah. That's cool. And
but
obviously,
it's a space to talk and
safe space.
Yeah.
We eventually. I would like to create a community, like a private page on Facebook or something where you guys can join, and we can talk about things and all help each other through the changing tides in all of our lives. So I feel like creating a community is a real big thing. Staying connected, just like we've been talking about. And obviously, if you guys like the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
You got it, man.
Because that's how we get paid. Eventually. And appreciate y'all. And thanks to my co-host. Appreciate you, dog.
Sure, cuz.
Appreciate you, dog. It's been good, eh,
thanks, everybody. If you have made it to the end.
Yeah, I bet you not many people have.
If you haven't, I don't blame you.
That's why I can drop a slide.
Yeah,
you guys probably didn't even make it, but if you did, I respect that.
Or if you did make it to the end, maybe drop a code word down below in the comments.
Like like one of these ones? Or
like a shucker. Chuck a shucker in the comments so you know that.
Chop a hang 10 in the comments if you made it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool, eh?
Yeah.
And I guess we'll wrap it up. Yeah, so the waves will always come, but you can learn to surf.